So I want to talk about open houses and home sellers at open houses and home sellers at showings. Been running into this a little bit, kind of a struggle, because I think a lot of home sellers, they're not trained salespeople and they don't quite realize what really happens in a first showing or at an open house. And, open houses can be effective, but for most properties, it's kind of overkill and it's just nosy neighbors or, people that view an opportunity to see what's going on in a house. We've had people that are, just professional house lookers that drive around on weekends and get ideas from open houses. There are houses, however, in hot neighborhoods and in parts of town that don't have a lot of inventory or they're priced really well. There are houses where open houses can make sense. We certainly do them. They can be an obstacle too, but homeowners, please stop being there for showings and please stop being there at open house. The struggle with homeowners being at open houses or being at, showings is that they think them being there is helpful and it's not typically. Now, going for a second or third showing, that might be helpful because you could answer questions. The first showing, it's kind of like the first date. The first showing isn't about facts. The first date isn't about your date's resume. It's about falling in love. It's about a feeling. It's about feeling comfortable. Studies show us that the longer someone stays in a home, the more likely they are to buy it. And would you know that also studies show that the amount of time they spend in a home when the homeowner is there is dramatically less than when the homeowner isn't there. Because people naturally feel like they're intruding if the homeowner's here. Oh, we need to rush through. They want to get back to living their life. And then they miss the great room or they miss something incredible about the house because they're rushing through it. It's not about facts. No matter what you know about your house, Mr. Homeowner, you shouldn't be there. The second thing is security. If you really think that people are going to steal from your house, in thousands and thousands of home sales, this happened once in my entire career. It doesn't happen. Statistically, it doesn't happen. There's cameras everywhere today. There are agents there to escort them. There are people there keeping an eye on the property. If you're worried about your stuff getting stolen, then put your stuff in a safe or hide your stuff. Don't be there following people around. It feels like it's super uncomfortable. It's like, going on a first date and have your parents sit behind you at the movie theater, right? That's what it feels like. But a lot of homeowners don't understand how uncomfortable they're making the buyers feel. And the buyers certainly aren't going to sit there in the homeowner's house and be like, hey, can you leave so we can feel comfortable? It's uncomfortable. Don't be there for the open house. Don't follow people around. Don't walk them through. Don't keep eyes on them. Don't be there. It's weird. And a lot of homeowners don't have great social skills. So, you may say something that offends them. You may say something about the shirt they're wearing or the car they drive. Like you're not a trained salesperson. If you're not a trained salesperson, sometimes homeowners are, but if you're not, you're probably going to make a mistake. You're not helping. It's really not helping. Don't be there. It's weird. You follow people around, you make them uncomfortable, they leave quickly, and then they don't buy your house. A second or third showing, because then you may be able to answer really specific questions, because at that point, they've spent enough time in the house. They've kind of started that process of falling in love. Like the second or third date, you're going to start to ask questions about that beautiful person sitting across from you that you maybe wouldn't have asked on the first date, because now you're more on the fact-finding mission. Now you've seen your connection. There's something there. Now you got to see, okay, what are the other things here? What are some other questions I can get answered? The first showing isn't fact-based. It's emotion-based. Again, I can't say it enough. If you're a homeowner and you're showed up at showings, if you're there for the open house, it's weird. It doesn't help. I generally think the same thing about a second agent being present at showings. The listing agent accompanying the people around. Like, I don't like that either. I think that's a bad take. I don't think that's what the consumer wants. I don't think it's helpful, except for in situations where we're talking like a really valuable home with lots of intricacies. Then I could see the other agent accompanying, $10 million estate. Of course, that makes sense. But, $350,000 condo in Riverview, listing agent shouldn't accompany. The higher the price of the home or the more intricate the home, the more a second agent can be helpful from a standpoint of, providing insight or pointing things out. But homeowners, please, dead stop on being there. You're not helping. You're making it worse. I saw a home recently and it was like 287 days on the market. We'd shown it like 3 times to buyers. And every time the homeowner's there and the homeowner's like really uncomfortable, follows people around, asks some personal questions, makes weird comments. Like, if you want your home to sell, trust the pros, get out of the way and get it sold.